All right, guys, so here we are. We are looking at a Case 580C backhoe that I am interested in buying. The homeowner hasn't used it in years. I borrowed it 4 or 5 years ago to dig a electrical trench to run electric to my shop at the house. So it is currently not running, and the starter had issues. He pulled the starter out. He said 3 months ago, but it was probably more like a year ago. So there has not been a starter in it. I'm sure the battery's dead. It needs a tire. Tire on this side is bald. The rear tire, the other side tire is fine. I'm sure it's going to need some electric, or excuse me, some hydraulic line. So we're going to put the starter that he bought in it and check the power and see if we can get it running to see if I can decide to buy it or not. And if not, then we'll get it up and running for him and he can sell it to somebody else. But he's a neighbor, a friend, so I don't mind looking out for him because his health isn't on the best right now.
It just turned off. What the heck? It was playing, but it goes black. Okay.
It's recording right now with the red line.
I know, but it just went black. See? And then it goes black.
Just touch it. Oh, I don't know. So go ahead and do a walk around. So we can edit that out. So go ahead and go walk around the machine with it recording. So we're gonna do a walk around real quick. Kind of show you the condition, what it looks like. Here's where the starter is. Pull the starter out. Pretty simple, 3 wires. I think this thing's like 50 horsepower, so nothing's very heavy with it. It's got the battery tray open because the battery is 4 years old and I'm sure needs to be replaced. So there's the replacement starter. Got a cracked windshield, missing some glass. Not the end of the world. I don't need all that stuff, but one of the outriggers is leaking down. I don't remember which one, so that will need to be sealed. I believe it's this one. That is not a big deal, but you know, besides that, it's for a farm backhoe. It's not too bad. So let's get into it. So here's the starter. I do not know where he got this thing at. Probably an auto parts store. It's not a big deal, so we'll go ahead and put this in. All right, I know the last one he got, the cone wasn't on it, or they broke the cone off of it. So he went and got this one, and I'm not sure where the side cover is. That would be nice if that was on there. But looks like he left one bolt on there, so that will be your ground strap. So we'll go ahead and squirt that with some penetrating fluid. That way it's easier for me to get it in there. It's got 2 more here. These have been sitting out in the weather, so we'll go ahead and squirt those so I can thread them in somewhat by hand. All right, so let's go ahead and screw this thing in. That's a pretty basic motor to work on. This is your power steering here. Your power steering pump. All your filters easy accessible. Little 4-cylinder diesel, nothing crazy. Things are a dime a dozen. It's I don't know what year it is. It's probably an early 80s. All right. Now we're going to tighten all 3 of these up. Should have grabbed a socket instead of this little thing. least you can see it.
Why does it randomly go go black?
I don't know. All right, so here's the power cable. I'll put that on. All right, here's the power cable for everything else. Big wire first, small wire last. And then this is the S side, so we'll hook that up in a second, but we'll put this on there. This should have 2 nuts, but it doesn't. I didn't buy it, so. All right, so we'll tighten that up. All right, so that's tightened up. All right, so now we're just going to take the meter, read the voltage from the battery. 12-volt system, pretty basic like anything else. So we're reading DC voltage. I don't expect we're going to have anything out of this. So if you pull in here and look at the meter, it'll read, see if you can go on top of it. Go all the way down where you can read that number. Right there, 1.2 volts. That is definitely not enough to do anything. So we're going to go ahead and pull this battery and go get another one. And then we'll come pull this battery out. Thing's from 2019, so, and who knows how long it's been since the backhoes ran, so we know for a fact that it's too old to even mess with. Plus, at a voltage of 1.22, it is not going to come back up. So go ahead and pull the positive and pull the negative. These are typically 1/2 inch or 13 millimeters. And people typically over tighten, which is what's happened here. So we'll spin this off. Go ahead and pull this out. So this is my 97 F350 with a 7.3 diesel. We got the service body on it, flatbed with toolboxes, and it does just about everything we need it to do. So real quick, these are 65 series batteries, which are the same that was in that backhoe, although if we move forward and we get the backhoe, what we're going to do is put in a little bit bigger of a battery. So go ahead and pull this battery out. Do this quite a bit so it's not super tight. All right, got my battery. Come on over here.
We just emptied this out yesterday.
All right, so if you remember in the yesterday, that clip, we pulled this battery out. So let's go ahead and put this one in, and we'll do all right. Let's hook up our negative. This one's already tight, so we're gonna pull it right back out once it starts, if it starts. So I'm not gonna go crazy tightening these things up. We're gonna tighten up our positive, and I'm gonna be careful not to touch the frame. That way it will arc. So, all right, so positive and negative is situated, and that's tightened up. So let's go ahead and see if we can start this thing. All right, come on in here with me, and I'm going to show you. So it has got 3,610 hours, which isn't too bad. Here's our key switch and our push button. So let's see what we got. Key on, so we have indication lights. That's a positive, and hopefully this thing starts. Well, the solenoid's pulling in, but it's not doing anything. So Emmy's gonna wipe that down for me so you guys can see it a little bit better. But the gauges aren't, or excuse me, the push button's not working. So let's go ahead and leave that on, and let's go jump through the S side of the starter and see what we can get. So let's go back over there. Here, baby. Hold that. Let's come on over here. Let's so this is my electrical box. I have a wire here. This is 8, which is more than sufficient for jumping a starter over. So I usually keep this in here with the rest of the wire because we work on everything, and it's nice to have a pre-made jumper wire. So let's go ahead and jump through the S side of the starter and see what we can come up with. Alright, so what I'm talking about here is you've got your 12 volts coming through from the battery directly to the start solenoid. On the other side of the solenoid, this wire, you can see it, that is your S side. S for start. That goes from your push button to your start solenoid, and that sends it 12 volts, which closes your solenoid and engages the starter. So all we're gonna do is I'm gonna go one wire to the start solenoid, and hold that on there, and then we're gonna do one wire to the 12 volts with the key switch in the on position. Fired up, we're good. All right, let's let her get warm, and then we're gonna check the hydraulic function. Well, that's a good morning. Now we know it runs. So let's go ahead and let's pull the battery back out. Let's stick it back in the truck. That way we can go back to the house, and we'll get on the phone and talk to him and see what he wants to do about this. Try to negotiate something, and then I think we'll go ahead and pull this tire off and call around and see if we can get one. So yeah, pretty excited. So let's go ahead and pull this battery back out. All right, so 13 millimeter. You know, when you do this, be careful not to arc the battery, so don't touch your wrench on the positive side to the metal case. So, all right, battery back out. We know we got to troubleshoot the push button. I would imagine on the S side of the starter, I did see when I put that starter in that it's got a non-heat shrink eyelet that is extremely loose. So I'd imagine that that's the problem. But we can worry about that. I just wanted to see the thing start, run, hydraulic functions. So pull the battery back out. All right, let's go put it back in the truck. Let's see. All right. Push that down as far as it can go. This thing will probably come back out in a couple days because we troubleshoot with this battery. All right, let's tighten it back up. Want to remember not to over tighten your battery lugs like everybody does. You do not need to squeeze that part together. That is not good. Just a little snug. Cool. All right, let's shut this.
Battery out of my dad's truck and put it in the tractor to see if it runs, and it runs. And we negotiated.
Tested all the functions.
Yeah, tested all the functions, and we negotiated the price. So now we're on our way to go get that, and we're gonna go get the trailer and pick it up, and I'll be right back.
All right, guys. Hope you can hear me. So here's what we decided to do. So I saw he had a electric Craftsman homeowner's air compressor, so I went ahead and hooked to his air compressor. We filled up the tire. We're going to show you that. We filled up the tire, and then my shop is 3/4 of a mile down a farm road, so we're going to drive it and hope that the tire does not go flat between here and there. And if it does, the tire's messed up anyway, we're just going to send it. So you're going to watch now. I'm going to disconnect the tire that we're filling up. I'm going to check the back tire, and then Emmy's going to pull the truck out. She's going to follow me, and we're going to head to the house and put a 3/4 inch impact on that and get that tire off so I can get it fixed. So come on with me. Alright guys, here we are adding air to the tires. Pretty simple, so I'm going to speed this on up. Here we are getting into the backhoe, lowering it down, putting some weight on the tires to see how they act. Everything seems to be going okay. Here we are moving it, just double checking air pressure. I think we're in a good spot, so I think we'll go ahead and pack things up and get ready to head on down the road. Alright guys, we're going to back the truck out of the way, and Emmy is going to follow me in the backhoe, and we are going to drive it to the shop. Hopefully the tire, like I said, stays full.